followed on by the aeroplane's predecessor in service, the PHA Philip, gained his first solo before moving on to further training on North American Harvard. Yes, we've got Wacky Wabbit on Christmas, nicknamed the Parrot. Actually, it's quite interesting. It's gained one or two nicknames. The Parrot was one. The one I loved, actually, was the nickname that was given at Henlow, just up the road here, where it was based for many years, at which point it was known as Noddy. And I think Noddy is a great name for that aeroplane. But it's as agile as any other de Havilland Chipmunk. It's flown by a syndicate of very enthusiastic owners, and now handed over to what is now the Royal Air Force Battlefield Memorial Flight, based at the hands of Ken Waller, finishing in 12th position. Set a record from flying from England to Cape Town in 1938, I think it was, or was it 39? I can't remember now, covering digging up the ground. So you've seen quite a lot of the descriptions of this aeroplane. One account in Flight magazine said of the Hawk Speed 6, with the cockpit covered by a small coupe top, the machine is admirable for those who wish to get about quickly on business, but want the advantage of an open machine with a cockpit which can be closed at will. I'm not sure it was ever perhaps the most practical proposition for the businessman, rather more aeroplane flying anywhere. Hall in Suffolk to Melbourne, Australia. The aircraft flying very, very sportingly in the moment. The Supercab with its 150 horsepower engine, the ideal tow ship to get the glider off the ground and find His Royal Highness, as he was then, was why he means to keep well away. David, I'm here with the microphone again. Tell us a bit what it looks like.
I used to fly in the back seat of one of those, and I'm still here.
It's got a fairing on it.
Very good.
Have a look. Fairy Swordfish 1.
Haven't got that in the way, yes.
By the time we'll... Second World War, there's a lovely story about a RAF reservist flying, I think it was from Worcester in Northumberland, and in perfect English toasted the Gloucester Gladiator pilot, saying, "I've just been shot down by a solicitor in a biplane." Gloucester Gladiator was developed from the Gloucester Gauntlet with a cantilever undercarriage, single bay wings and other drag reducing improvements. 72 Squadron at Tangmere was the first of 9 squadrons to be equipped with the Gladiator in 1937, and they stayed on the RAF front line until 1941.
Very distinctive design that Westlands came up with, and the Observer, and it could tote a pair of forward firing .303 machine guns.
It was designed by Teddy.
I mean, until ARC did theirs, this was the
Agility to move away from flying straight and level in close formations and using the rear gun to employ the aircraft more as a conventional fighter-mounted gun offensively, with the rear gun being used against attacks from the rear. And it worked very, very well, thanks to this aircraft, as I say, being so agile, especially in comparison with other two-seaters of its time. And also to the wide field of fire that the Observer enjoyed. The F-2B was thus ace, Canadian Andrew McKeever, who shot down 31 enemy aircraft while with number 11 Squadron. In total, 5,329 Brisfits, as the type was nicknamed, were built by Bristol and its contractors up to 1927. This full time in 2006, we had 3. The other 2 were sold overseas, making the value of this one all the greater as a member of the Shuttleworth Collection.
And of course, I'm using the crosswind runway here, or the cross runway, which is actually into wind at the moment.
Fit to fly on the 28th of May that year, and 2 days later, Harry Hawker took to the air for the first time.
A biplane to a triplane configuration. The Harry Hawker actually did multiple loops on his maiden flight in the aircraft. Somebody said it looked like something falling down a flight of stairs.
And just over a fortnight later, it was deemed ready to begin.
Nice to get to do a crossover. Both of them in the same picture.
Pulled down by wires on the trailing edge of each wing, linked to the control wheel, and the the loads required and maintaining the performance of the wing warp, or maintaining control of the wing warp Sopwith, of the wing warp Avro, I beg your pardon, is actually quite a challenge. And I think we're seeing the Avro now being landed back into wind. Meanwhile, see the pilot making pitch adjustments all the time by the elevator. Meanwhile, the tailplane is actually generating lift to help support the wing.
With a 15 horsepower Gregoire 4-cylinder engine, which proved too unreliable for flight. So that was replaced by one of the first Gnome Omega rotary engines to arrive in Britain. It was fitted to the aeroplane at the former tramway sheds which the company occupied at Filton, re-erected at Larkhill on Salisbury Plain, in many ways the cradle of British military aviation, and taken for its maiden flight on the 30th of July at daylight between the grass and the wheels. Such was the excitement engendered by seeing one of these newfangled flying machines for the first time. Before that design had even been fully tested, Sir George White had authorised the construction of a further 20 box kites. They were sold as far afield as South Africa, India and Russia. Well, that was, as ever, a great pleasure, and well done to Richard Crockett at the controls of the Wren.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Wren has now shut down, so now's a great time to put your hands together again for Richard Crockett in the English electric Wren Perseverance.
Having its wings recovered, there is the Avro triplane taken to the air.
Just leave the throttle at idle and swing the prop. When the aeroplane's been standing 20 minutes to half an hour, it doesn't really know whether it's hot or cold. And that's when you get the problem sometimes starting an engine of this nature. Now, while you can see the windsock on the ground is probably showing between 5 and 6 knots at the moment, if you look at the angle of the box kite as it came down the flight line, you can see there's what's called a wind, particularly for the box kite, which is quite marginal in its airspeed, to be able to hold on into that quite strong wind.
Well, the other day it was the rain all day.